What's happening, good people? Welcome to the channel. I'm Wes, aka Mr. Budget Watch, and today we have another episode of Watch Wars. So this time we're going to be comparing two different Submariners homages, and one of them is the Cronos on the left and the Pagani is the Kermit version on the right. So if you've never seen Watch Wars, basically we just take two very similar watches, put them head to head and see which one is better across 10 categories. Each category is worth 10 points and the winner is the one with the highest score. So let's start with the first category, which is design. And as you can see, the Cronos takes a lead by half a point. And the only reason why I've given it an extra half a point is because, well, it's just got an applied logo. And, you know, that's pretty much it, really. I don't think it's worth quite half a point, but I don't want to be getting into, like, quarter of a point because I'm terrible at maths and it would just be a little bit confusing. In reality though, both are pretty much exactly the same, apart from this one has the nicer applied logo. Both have got the date complication with the Cyclops. You can see actually the Pagani, if you look at that, it blows it up really quite big, whereas the Cronos is a little bit smaller, still easy to read and a little bit more crisp. So it's, you know, it's really swings and roundabouts. You know, both of them have got those 5-minute markers up to 15. Both have got ceramic bezels. Both have got a really nice dial. Both have got good printing. The Cronos is a little bit crisper, a little bit cleaner. But, you know, in terms of design, both are exactly the same. The reason why the Cronos scores a little bit higher as well is because we've got a more accurate representation of the Submariner with the, if I can get it, the case back. You can see, you know, it's very, very similar to the Subs. Whereas this one, if I show you, is an exhibition case back, if it'll just focus, which the Submariner does not have. So, you know, again, it's all down to personal preference. I just think the Pagani is a little bit closer and is the slightly better designed of the two. Next up, build and finish, and you can see the Cronos takes the win with 7.5 to 6.5. And the reason why is because, well, it's just ever so slightly better finished. The polishing on the sides is just a little bit nicer. You can't really see it from this video, but yeah, it is nicer. The brushing on the lugs and on the bracelet is better as well. It's a bit smoother. You can see there. You can actually see the brushing a little bit more detailed there, but it's actually better quality on this. It's smoother to the touch and it's more satinized, so it looks just more premium and high quality. Also, the brushing on the lugs again is better. Like I said, it's got applied logo. And you know, it's just ever so slightly better finished. You know, looking at the clasp, both of them are very similar. But again, if you go to the actual feel of them, because that's a big tell on quality. If you can actually feel the brushing, if you run your fingers across it, you know, this one feels a little bit more coarse. It's not, I wouldn't call it like drastically coarse. It's not like really rough and horrible feeling. It's just the Cronos is smoother. It's just smoother to the touch. And also there's a little bit more of a sharp edge on that clasp, whereas this one is a little bit smoother. It is still not perfectly smooth though, but yeah, it's not as sharp as the Pagani's. So yeah, build and finishing, it just takes the extra point just because, you know, it is ever so slightly better finished and built. Bracelet, and you can see it is 8.5 to 7. And the reason why this scores better is obviously because, well, it's better finished. And you can see we've got really nice flexibility. This one, you know, very flexible as well, but this one is ever so slightly more flexible. And yeah, both are really good quality bracelets. This one, like I said, has got better finishing. But the reason why this one gets a better score on the bracelet, and I'll show you that right now. So both have got these same Submariner style clasp, very secure and really well done. The reason why the Cronos scores so much higher is because you can see we've got that working glide lock, something that the Submariner has as well, and it is very functional and really good for getting a perfect fit. Now if you take a look at the Pagani's on the other hand, if I just open this one up quickly, you can see, you know, if I show you this side, there is no glide lock and very minimal micro adjustments. So that is why, you know, the Cronos scores better, is because, well, it's got a much superior clasp. So how does that affect comfort? And you can see if we take a look at the scores quickly, that the Cronos wins by half a point. And the reason why it scores more is because, well, it fits better because of that glide lock. This one is ever so slightly too big. Still fits really nicely. The Cronos just fits ever so slightly better. It's much more able to get a better fit because of the glide lock. You can just fine tune it. It's just like having a easy to use micro adjustment. It's on the fly. So say if you're going diving 1 hour, you open it up a little bit to fit over your wetsuit, and then when you've done, you can just shut it back down, and then it fits you around your wrist without a wetsuit. Really cool. If you did that with this one, yeah, good luck with that. It's a pain. So yeah, you can't really do it on the fly, whereas this one you can. So, you know, it goes better because, well, one, it's more convenient, and two, it fits better. Now we're getting on to the Lume, and you can see it is a bit of a walk away for the Cronos, and to be honest, that's to be expected. It is a more expensive watch. It uses a better compound and quality of Lume, so of course it's going to be better quality. It gets brighter, it lasts longer, the application is cleaner, and it's just overall better Lume. The Pagani's is decent, you know, it's fair, but if you want to be impressed by the Lume, then the Cronos is the one to go. It is just so much nicer and better quality than the Pagani, but obviously it's the price point. I mean, the Pagani is decent, yes, but the Cronos is obviously better. Moving on to the movement, and it's 8 to 7, and the reason why it's 8 to 7 is, well, because the Pagani has the, you know, the Seiko NH35, nothing wrong with the movement at all. Really good, really reliable, really robust. The reason why the Cronos wins is because it's got the more expensive PT5000, equally as reliable, equally as robust. Not as many people know about these though, because they've only just really started becoming more popularized on watches on AliExpress. Now the Cronos PT5000 is actually made by I think it's PK Technology or something. They've been around for a long time. It's just their movements haven't been as widely as adopted, while Seiko's have been ruling the roost. But now more companies are adopting this movement, and it's becoming more and more affordable, and it's just a better quality movement, and it's high beat, and it's got all the same features as the Seiko movement. It's just a little bit better quality, a little bit more accurate, and it's got that sweeping seconds compared to the slightly less smooth Pagani's. Moving on to the water resistance, and you can see the Cronos takes the win by a point. And the reason why it takes a win is because this has 100 meters and this one has 200 meters. So there's not that much difference really in between it, apart from this one obviously has an extra 100 meters. So I would be more comfortable diving with this watch than I would with this one. Both of them are fine for swimming, but this one you could probably take it diving down to around 100-ish meters. I wouldn't go too much further beyond that though, to be quite fair. But you know, if you're just going for a shallow, say, reef dive, then the Cronos is going to be better suited. So now we get on to availability, and the Pagani takes its first win. And the reason why is because it's just available in one extra place. Well, as far as I know from filming, the Cronos isn't available on Amazon, whereas the Pagani is. Both are available on their own stores and on AliExpress. So they are both available. It's just the Pagani is a little bit easier to get a hold of if you're in the UK, because you can actually pick them up on Amazon. Yes, you will pay a slight premium over AliExpress, but you'll get it here quicker. So, you know, there's a bit of a drawback to both. AliExpress is cheaper, Amazon just gets here quicker. So yeah, that's why they both score that. Now we get on to brand, and this one is actually very, very close, and it, you know, could be down to personal preference. I personally prefer the Cronos. I just think it's a nicer name. I just think it's a better sounding name. Both of them have got a good reputation for building good quality watches at their respective price points. The Pagani is obviously on the more affordable end of the spectrum, and the Cronos is that ever so slightly higher up end. But yeah, I think both of them have got a really good name. I'm just going based on sound actually, because both have got a good reputation, and I just think Cronos sounds better than Pagani design. So if someone's, you know, walked up to you, oh, what watch are you wearing? Oh, it's a Cronos. Okay, that's cool. Same person, you know, you're wearing a Pagani. What are you wearing? Pagani design. It just doesn't have a nice ring to it as Cronos. Not hating against Pagani. I absolutely love their watches. It's just Cronos just sounds a little bit better. Getting onto price and value, you actually see the Pagani takes the win with 7.5. And the reason why is because, well, it's a fantastic watch. It's got a good spec, you know, ceramic bezel, sapphire crystal, NH35, really, you know, good quality finishing, decent lume. Yeah, it's a very, very good value watch. The Cronos is also a very good value watch, but it's obviously more expensive. Yeah, it's this one is around 180 to 200 pounds, depending on if you go for the full lume bezel. You can also get it with a Solita movement in it, which takes it up an extra 100 or so pound. I personally wouldn't bother with that, to be fair. The PT is absolutely fine. But yeah, the Pagani is definitely the better value of the two, just because it's a really great quality watch and you're getting a lot for your money. This one is if you want to, you know, take that watch game up to the next level and just get them extra features, the better lume, the better bracelet, you know, the better movement, all that good stuff comes with a better price tag. Now, I was saying if Pagani made the same spec watch as this, I'm pretty sure it probably would be cheaper than the Cronos. So that would be pretty cool, actually, if you know, if the Pagani decided to make a sub with a PT 5000 movement. That'd be a pretty cool competition to see which is better then. Anyway, let's move on to the final category, and you can see it is a win for the Cronos with 74 to 68. And you know, there's a good reason for that. It's just a better watch. Yes, it's more expensive and not as good value if you like your budget watches, but if you want just that better experience, everything that I've mentioned on this watch is just better than the Pagani. Everywhere where it counts, the comfort, the bracelet, the build quality, the finishing, the design, it's just better. But again, you're going to be paying for that. Whereas if you just want a you know, more affordable homage that's you're going to do exactly the same job as this one, just not to as high a standard, then the Pagani is the way to go. So yeah, which one would you pick? The more expensive Cronos or the more affordable Pagani? Let me know. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. And of course, follow me on social media at Mr. Budget Watch. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.